Good evening, and thank you all for this time. It's 5:02. Let's begin. People are joining. Good evening, Sunita Chinoy, Praveen Singh ji. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. It's truly wonderful to see so many passionate educators here today. So, before we begin, I want to take a moment to appreciate you all for your dedication, your commitment, and your willingness to explore new ways to enhance student well-being. Because as educators, you play one of the most important roles in shaping young minds. And I know that with great responsibility also comes great challenges. Good evening, Preeti ma'am. Good evening. Well, this insightful session is proudly brought to you by PP Publications. You must have seen in that an organization dedicated to empowering educators with valuable knowledge, innovative teaching strategies, and impactful resources. Good evening, Rima ma'am. Well, the mission is to support the teaching community in creating holistic, effective, and mindful learning environments for students. For those of you who don't know me, I am Nalini, an educator with over 25 years of experience in teaching, school leadership, and mental wellness. I'm basically a clinical hypnotherapist and healer, deeply passionate about helping students and teachers manage stress, enhance focus, and create positive learning environments through mindfulness and holistic education. I conducted workshops, webinars, and awareness programs on these topics. And today, I'm here to share some of the most effective mindfulness techniques that you can apply right in your classrooms. In today's session, we'll explore how mindfulness techniques can help improve concentration, reduce stress, and create a more positive and engaging classroom environment for both you and your students. And trust me, you don't need to set aside any extra time. These strategies can be seamlessly integrated into your daily routines. So, are you ready to dive into the journey of mindfulness? Just give me a thumbs up. It should be, yes, the session should be interactive. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, in today's session, we are going to discuss what mindfulness is and why it matters. We'll try to understand its role in education and mental well being. We'll discuss about the science behind mindfulness, how it impacts students' attention, memory, and emotional regulation. We'll have some beautiful practical mindfulness techniques today. I'll help you in guided exercise like breathing, visualization. We'll have the practical, and we will discuss how we can integrate mindfulness to some simple strategies that can be applied daily. And at the end of the session, we will have some interactive discussion to address specific concerns. Now, let me ask you, how many of you have felt stressed while managing a class or noticed that your students seem distracted or overwhelmed? I want to hear from you. Yes? Yes. We all have, haven't we? And that's completely normal. But the good news is we can do something about it. In today's session, we will explore how simple mindfulness techniques can help improve concentration, reduce stress, and create a more positive and engaging classroom environment. Okay? So, why mindfulness? See, what is the reality of today's classroom? Our students are exposed to distractions, isn't it? Smartphones, social media, exam pressure, and emotional stress. Teachers themselves experience high levels of stress and burnout. Students are struggling with short attention span. I'm getting these complaints most of the time. They're struggling with anxiety and emotional dysregulation. And mindfulness is the solution. Mindfulness can help teachers reduce stress, increase patience, and create a positive classroom environment. And for students, it improves focus, emotional regulation, and learning retention. Scientific research shows that even a few minutes of mindfulness daily can create long term benefits. Now, let's talk about what is mindfulness. See, mindfulness is the practice of being fully present and engaged in the moment without judgment. It's about paying attention to the present moment instead of being caught up in the worries about the past or the future. It's a mental training practice, right? That helps us respond to situations calmly rather than reacting emotionally. It's not about emptying the mind. Instead, it's about focusing your attention intentionally. Well, on the teacher, I just want to ask you a question. While teaching a lesson, but instead of focusing on your students, your mind was thinking about an upcoming deadline or personal issue. It must have happened with you. And you must have noticed your students often be feeling distracted, finding them distracted, lost in their own thoughts or anxious. Let me clarify what exactly with a simple example. At the end of the school, everybody enjoys tea. Yes or no? Tea, coffee. Yes? I want to hear. You enjoy? Yes. Okay. If you're drinking your cup of tea, तो अदरक वाली चाय, आप उस अदरक वाली चाय का स्वाद ले रहे हैं और उसकी खुशबू को महसूस कर पा रहे हैं, उसकी वार्मथ को फील कर पा रहे हैं, इट मीन्स यू आर टोटली प्रेजेंट इन द मोमेंट. अगर आप अपनी चाय की हर एक सिप को एंजॉय कर रहे हैं, एंड सपोज इफ यू आर ड्रिंकिंग टी while scrolling on the phone and not even realizing when the tea was finished, or while having your lunch, you're grabbing your lunch and you're just scrolling on the phone. This is mindlessness. So, what is the difference between a mindful teacher up and mindlessness? Well, the mindful teacher is fully present while interacting with students, actively listening and responding rather than reacting. Just focus on it, respond and react. Same way, a student who is mindful student, he will pay attention in the class, he will listen without distraction and manages emotions calmly. Let's dive into the science behind mindfulness. I won't discuss the details of brain, only the I just will focus on few certain points. Mindfulness, the first thing which you have to keep in mind, usually when we talk about the mindfulness, that spiritual concept comes in our mind, isn't it? It's not just a spiritual concept, but it is backed by neuroscience. See, human brain is two key areas. Well, it's very complex, but now we are focusing on these two key areas, basically, which affects the focus and emotions. As you can see in the slide, the part is the prefrontal cortex, PFC. Location you can see. This is your decision making part of the brain and thinking. It's doing thinking part. Mindfulness strengthens this PFC part, which helps you improve your focus, memory, and learning ability. And this portion, amygdala, is this emotional center of the brain, which is responsible for your stress, fear, and fight or flight responses. Mindfulness calms this part, the amygdala, which helps you reduce your emotional outbursts and anxiety. If we talk about the research, just 8 weeks of mindfulness, a study was there in Harvard University. Just 8 weeks of mindfulness practice increased gray matter in the brain, which improved learning and emotional regulation. And there was a study in California school. Teachers who practiced mindfulness had lower stress levels, better classroom management, and improved student engagement. Even the students which were under the study, they showed improved attention span and better emotional control. Even the exam anxiety was found very less in these students, and they have a better control on their behavior also. uh, I just want to ask, have you ever noticed how students react differently to stress? Let me hear from you. You must be observing your classes, how your students react to the stress. Let me help you. Some may be feeling anxious. You can give the reaction, or some may be act out, and some just shut down completely. Isn't it? Mindfulness helps them regulate these emotions effectively. When students are practicing mindfulness, they are some are withdrawn. Yes, 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 yes. So if you're practicing mindfulness, they're more likely to listen. They're going to, their participation increases, and their retention also. They can better retain the information. We are going to discuss certain mindfulness exercises. We'll do the practical of this also. Now, just after it, let me discuss about mindful breathing. If you want a quick reset for stress and focus, go for mindful breathing. Visualization, it's a powerful tool for relaxation and confidence. And gratitude practice. If you want a positive mindset in students, it's a best exercise. And if you want your student to improve communication skill and you want to maintain a classroom harmony, go for mindful listening. Now the question is, how to identify someone whether the person is stressed or relaxed. It's a very simple answer. If you're relaxed, your breath will be deep and slow. And if you find some child taking shallow breathing and fast breathing, it means the person is have under stress or anxiety. See, breath is the anchor of the present moment. So breathing exercise is the best for this. It helps bring awareness back to now rather than dwelling in the past or worrying about the future. Mindful breathing, those who have raised hand, I just take the question at the end of the, just please let me speak first and we'll discuss. Even a 60-second of breathing exercise can help teachers reset their emotions and regain control over the classroom. If you're doing the visualization uh, technique, if you're following, it's actually visualization is mentally picturing a positive or calming scenario to shift your focus and reduce stress. It will help your student concentrate, develop creativity, and stay emotionally balanced. It is most of the athletes or the sportsmen, leaders, and even the students, they are practicing visualization techniques before any competition, before exams can be practiced. And what about the gratitude practices? Studies have shown that practicing gratitude improves your mental health. It will increase your happiness hormone. If happiness hormone is increasing, automatically your stress level goes down. A gratitude mindset will help students shift from the negative thoughts to positive thinking. And for teachers, it will help them reduce their burnout, because instead of complaining about the struggles, you will focus on the joys of teaching. And I want all teachers to do that. So, are you ready for the? Let's talk about the mindful listening also, and then we'll talk about the practical. We'll discuss, we'll just have a practical, and then I'll discuss about how to integrate these exercises in the classroom without any extra time. Okay. So, what is mindful listening? Mindful listening means listening with full attention, without distraction or judgment. Usually, what we do, we just listen to respond. But mindful listening teaches students to truly understand, isn't it? And this technique improves teacher student relationship and reduces misunderstandings in the classroom. So, are you ready for the practical? I'll request everyone just enjoy this practical and see the change. Okay, everybody sit comfortably. If you're walking, I'll request all of you to, those who are walking, please settle down. If someone is driving, don't do this practical. Sit at a comfortable place. It's a 5-minute practical. If you want to drink water, you can drink water. Shall we begin? Okay. Find a comfortable place. Sit in a comfortable position. You're going to enjoy this. Really. Good. Let's start. Take a long, deep breath in. Hold for a few seconds. And release. Again. While inhaling, make sure that you inhale up to your belly. You have to do belly breathing. And while exhaling, ensure that your belly contracts. Once more, we'll repeat this process. Just imagine you're drawing a positive energy in your body. Hold for a second. And while exhaling, all your worries are released. All the discomfort from your body and the tension from your body. You're releasing, releasing, releasing. Feel yourself relaxed. Feel the relaxation spreading in your body from your head to the toe. Again, take a deep breath and exhale. You're feeling relaxed. Let the relaxation spread in each cell of your body. Now imagine yourself sitting in a garden with green grass. You can visualize or feel the grass carpet under your feet. Very relaxing. Smell the fragrance of the flowers in the garden. See the beauty of nature in the garden. You can feel the gentle warmth of the sun. Enjoy this moment. Now express gratitude to all the positive things in your life. Take your attention to all the positive things in your life. It could be your day, it could be your breakfast, it could be your lunch, your parents. You can feel gratitude for the job you have. You can feel gratitude to the family members. It can be anything. Now, I want you to focus on the sounds you hear. It may be my sound or something other sound you can hear. And as you hear these sounds, you are feeling more and more relaxed. Find a beautiful smile on your face. And with the count of 3, 2, 1, bring your awareness back to the place where you're sitting. 2, feel the movement in your body. And 1, open your eyes with a beautiful smile on your face. So, how you felt? Good, good, good. So, how can teachers? Let's talk about how it can be. Yes, thank you. Relaxing. Good, 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 good. It was only for 2 or 3 minutes, I think. Now let's talk. How can you integrate these exercises in the class? That's the most important thing. So before starting a lesson, take 1 minute of mindful breathing with students. If your students are restless, guide them through a few deep breaths before transitioning to a new topic. You can use the breathing techniques during exam, stress, anxiety, or in the classroom also you can practice. You can use a short visualization before exams. Sushila ma'am is saying she practices this in her school. Very good. Good, ma'am. Excellent. So you can use a short visualization before exams or presentation so that you can help your students feel confident. You can guide them through a quick mental break if they feel overwhelmed or stressed. You can encourage students to visualize successful learning experiences which will enhance their motivation. What you can do is you can start each class with a gratitude share. Ask your student to say one thing they are grateful for. You can have a gratitude journal and just giving certain tips. You can modify all these things. Where students write one good thing that happened each day. You can use gratitude to manage conflicts because by doing this technique, students can help themselves reframe situations positively. If you're encouraging your student to mindful listening without interrupting each other, you can ask them, motivate them during debates or group work or discussions to do the mindful listening. You can model mindful listening in the class so that they give full attention when a student is speaking. Now, most of the questions, like many of the teachers, they ask the question, ki, ma'am, what about the students who cannot sit still for the traditional mindfulness exercises? What we are talking is just you are asking the student to sit. And what about those, isn't it? For them, you have the solution for the movement based meditation, movement based mindful activities. That is also possible. It's going to engage the body and mind simultaneously. which will make easier for active students to focus. It will help them release their tension, increase their energy levels, and improve body awareness. I can guide you for some mindful stretching. Like, you can ask your students to stand up or sit comfortably. You can ask them to raise their arms overhead, stretch, and take a deep breath in. You can ask them to lower your arms slowly while exhaling completely. Have the rolling shoulders forward and backward, right? Mindful, if you're taking them out in the class, like in the ground or somewhere, so you can have the stretching breaks. In the classrooms also, you can have the stretching breaks. You can encourage students to notice how their body feels while stretching. This will improve the body awareness. And how can you do the walking meditation? Like, you can ask them to stand up and visualize like they are taking a step forward, and ask them to to let them feel ki how they feel when they're putting their feet on the ground. That you have to make them feel the touch. Main thing is, we are just engaging all the senses at one time. This will increase their awareness. Ask them during this process to breathe in as you step, breathe out as you step again. And they have to keep their focus on movement and breath. You can have this mindful walk in the corridors or the playgrounds to reset their focus. Teachers can also use it for their personal release. And guide mindful hand movements can also be done. Like, you can ask them to stretch their hand with fingers apart, and with the other hand, index finger of the other hand, ask them to slowly trace their fingers. And while going up, they can inhale, and while going down, they are exhaling. This they can repeat for all the five fingers. They can ask them to feel the sensation. This is also a quick, discrete stress relief exercise for students before exams or during moments of anxiety. Can be practiced anytime in classroom without drawing attention. So the mindfulness is just about stillness. It can also be done during movement also. By engaging the body, we can train the mind to stay present and focused. I would like to discuss a story with you. During my one of the digital detox webinar, I interacted with few parents and teachers concerned about the students' growing screen addiction, anxiety, and lack of focus in studies. So there was a student, a 14-year-old boy. I got a call from his parent. He was struggling with excessive phone uses, and it was very difficult for him to concentrate in the class. Parents are frustrated, and even the teacher noticed. uh, Teacher was complaining that he's often distracted and he's too much anxious before the exams. I just helped them, and about the simple mindfulness techniques, including mindful breathing and visualization exercise. We started a little bit of gratitude journaling also. And guess what? Within 4 weeks, his focus improved, his anxiety reduced significantly, he cut down screen time naturally without feeling forced. And there was a note from his teacher. I got a call, and she told me that he's having a better class participation and more engaged in the class. Now, parents are happier because the child is improving. So, we have discussed the integrating mindfulness, how we are able to, so what are the takeaways from the this webinar? First thing, small mindfulness practices create big changes. You can have a few minutes daily. It will improve the focus. It can reduce anxiety and emotional well-being. It will enhance your emotional well-being or students' well-being. Especially teachers don't need to make drastic changes. Simple techniques can work. It will help manage digital distractions, especially the student, those who are struggling with screen addiction and short attention span. It will help them regain focus through mindful breathing and visualization. Mindfulness will make students more present and engaged in learning. It will help to reduce exam stress. And if the exam stress is reduced, better performance is there. So you can incorporate deep breathing and gratitude and positive visualization. And teachers can use pre-exam mindfulness rituals to calm students and boost their memory retention. And when teacher practices mindfulness themselves, they handle stress better and create a positive learning environment. And I'll say it improves student teacher relationship also, and reduces behavioral issues. And if the schools, those who are adopting it, a school wide approach, it is going to transform learning. You will witness fewer discipline issues. You'll find your students more happier, even the teachers are happy, and higher engagement and academic success. So mindfulness is just an individual practice. It's a powerful tool that can shape classrooms, schools, and young minds for a better future. It works best when practiced consistently. I encourage you to start small, maybe a 1 minute breathing exercise before a lesson or a gratitude activity at the end of the day. Over time, you'll notice a difference in both your students and yourself. I want to sincerely thank each one of you for your time, engagement, and openness to learning about mindfulness today. Your role as an educator is incredibly powerful. And by incorporating mindfulness, you are making a lasting impact on your students' well being. If you have any questions or need further guidance, feel free to connect with me. Now, I would like to take some questions. And before that, while we are taking questions, I'm sharing a link. If you want the e-certificate for this webinar, you can fill in the form and we will provide the e-certificate. I want to thank once again the PP Publications for organizing this webinar. So I'm sharing this. Give me a minute. Let me. Mm, copy. Yes, I've shared the link. Those who are interested to in e-certificate, they can fill in.